I believe when we rise up past our abuse, we are able to stop letting the past define us, and we're able to rewrite our own futures. Day 3 training, and I'm so excited to be on here tonight with you guys because this message is going to be so important, because we've been talking about who we are, what we like to do, what we're grateful for about ourselves. We've talked about some of the hard things yesterday in the live about not being able to get up every day, not feeling like our lives are important. And I want to let you know that I'm so proud of you guys for making it to this live. Yesterday was a lot, and so I'm happy to see all the questions you guys have been sending me and all that, because I really want to dive deep today into living a life of purpose. So once you get to know yourself and some of the activities we've done, and over the 2 days it wasn't enough, and so you can go back and redo those activities and start thinking about yourself more and all that. But today I'm really going to focus on living a life of purpose. That is one of the ways we can stop letting the past define us. It's so important to figure out what our purpose even is. And I know sometimes when we're sitting in our rooms not feeling like our life matters, we can't look to the future and even see a purpose in what we're doing. But we all have an amazing purpose. I said this yesterday, but our lives were not meant to be full of pain. But we get to choose whether we are the victors or not. And I see 56 women on here who are strong and beautiful and on here for a reason. And that takes a lot of fight. And that takes a lot of strength. So I'm so proud of you guys for being on here. And thank you so much for sticking with me. Day 3 is going to be amazing, talking about our purpose. I know it can be hard, but I'm going to do some fun activities with you guys today and kind of bring up the mood, because I want you to know that yes, we have to talk about some hard things, because we have all gone through very hard things. But we can also rejoice in the fact that we have so many people around us right now, 56 women who are here with us today, wanting to learn about how to love themselves. And not only are they doing that, but they're encouraging others. I see you guys posting and encouraging people when they don't want to do things alone, all that kind of stuff. So I'm so proud of you guys. So I want to read something to you. We cling so tight to our stories because of the meaning we've personally applied to them. We always want to apply a reason, purpose, or meaning to things we have had happen. What would our lives be without meaning, right? We must change our perception of our stories. Nothing bad occurs. There are just lessons. These stories no longer have a power over us. We appreciate the value of them. Whenever when a fear-based thought comes in our minds with limiting beliefs, we let it go. So I want you guys to start practicing saying these things when stories about your past come in your mind and you're feeling down and you're feeling like you're defeated and you can't get past them. I want you to practice saying, I recognize this thought is not of my highest self, and I choose to see it differently. And ask yourself, please give me the strength to see this differently. Ask the universe, ask God, whatever you guys believe in. I want you guys to start asking things of the universe, God, whatever you believe in, to see your story from the past differently. But only you can make that decision to start changing your mindset. Things like writing 5 things that you're grateful for every morning about yourself is going to start changing your mindset. But I'm not there personally watching you guys write those. So you need to make that choice to actually go for your dreams and to start loving yourself. So looking at this and realizing that your past has just taught you lessons is so important. It's really hard when you're still in the recovery process, which is an ongoing process, by the way. But it's really hard to look at, your story and look at it as a positive. But when you're able to look at your story and look at how strong you are and the triumphs after your story, and look at who you are today because of your story, that is when the really exciting journey begins. Of course, I do not wish abuse upon anybody. And I think we can all be very clear on that. But sadly, that stuff does happen in the world. And we are all 56 women have gone through some sort of abuse. But we are all also women who have gone through fighting and fighting and fighting for ourselves. Whether you believe that you've been fighting or not, whether you believe you've been trying or not, you have been trying and you have been working hard. And so I want to continue to give you tools for the next 4 days on how to love yourself more and love your body more and be more confident, but also just to live a life worth living. But you get the choice to do that. And the reason why I brought up our stories again is because our stories do matter. I know looking at the past that it's hard to realize that you went through everything for a reason, but your story matters. And there's gonna be people in your life that need to hear your story to get through their own story. I wanna read another thing for you guys today. One day, you'll tell your story of how you've overcome what you are going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. Does that not get you pumped up, ladies? I'm gonna read it again because I want you to get what your story means and what you've gone through means. One day, you'll tell your story of how you've overcome what you are going through right now, and it will be a part of someone else's survival guide. You get the chance to write a survival guide from your story for someone else who's going through similar things. If that doesn't pump you up to realize that your story matters and you matter, girl, you need to know that you matter so much and that your story is going to change lives. I realized this by sharing my story about a year ago now, almost. And it was really scary to realize that I needed to share my story to help multiple women. I always had that inside me. I knew that deep down that my story mattered. But those thoughts from people in the past had always started flooding in my head every time I thought about sharing my story. So I would have thoughts in my head just about, oh, your story doesn't actually matter. Or, Alicia, a lot of people have gone through abuse. Why does your story matter? Why are you still talking about your story? You need to just get over it. By talking about your story means that you're obviously not over it, you're not okay, you need to go to counseling, you're not okay. So I heard all those things and it almost paralyzed me, and it did honestly paralyze me for a very long time. I had a speech written that I wanted to go to middle school and high schools and share my story to give them hope and hope for the future, that yes, they might have been going through abuse, or maybe they're still going through abuse, but you have people on your side that you can tell and get out of the situation that you're in. But because I was paralyzed for so long, I wasn't able to share my story. So that's why I want to emphasize to you guys right now that where you're at right now is okay. You're in this process of starting to love yourself again. And I hope in the last 2 days that you've been able to wake up a little bit easier in the mornings. You've been listening to a song to wake up to, so you're a little bit more energetic. You start writing those things easier. But it has been just 2 days of live trainings with me. And so I do realize that we don't want to rush things. And so I'm just talking about in the future, guys, because this is exciting, because you have me for 5 days. But I want you to know these tools are something you can take on for a lifetime. I know some of the people that I've worked with as clients, that they take what I've been teaching them and they've started their own groups. And it makes me so excited to hear that they've been able to use their stories and to influence others. But I also know that my calling is not your calling. And I know that not everyone needs to share their story publicly like I have. So I want to take that pressure off right now. No, after 5 days, I'm not going to ask you guys to go share your stories in case you guys are worried about that. I've had some clients be like, okay, Alicia, after the 90-day program, do we have to go share our stories too? The answer is no. It's not everyone's calling. But you guys do have a purpose. And so I'm excited to figure out what your purpose is with you. And so I have a few activities, but of course, I've got another quote. I think quotes are so powerful, and it's so important to have these quotes on. I always have them saved to my background, or sometimes I'll print them off and be able to look at them every single day. And it's just amazing to really look back on your life and relate these quotes to them and start realizing, like, yes, you do have purpose. So here's this quote for you. The purpose of life is to The purpose of life is to discover your gift. The meaning of life is to give your gift away. So the last few days, we've been working about figuring out what your gift is and who you are and what you love about yourself. Because it starts with you. It starts with you loving yourself enough to be able to go love others well. So the last few days, all those activities have been leading up to this moment. And I'm so excited. As you can tell, I'm getting really energetic about this, because when you figure out your purpose, nothing can stop you. And even if you're sitting here right now being like, I can't think of anyone else besides myself right now because I am so broken. And that's real. And I understand that. And before I started sharing my story, I felt exactly that. I was like, even if I did want to share my story, even if I did want to do something great with my life instead of working at a car dealership that I didn't even know anything about cars, even if I did want to do a better, more important job or whatever else it was, like, how am I supposed to think outside of myself right now? I can't even love myself. How am I supposed to go help these girls? And I saw that when I was working with girls who've gone through sex trafficking, 11 to 17-year-old girls. And I was loving what I was doing. And hearing their stories and everything felt like it related to me, because I felt so blessed at that moment. I felt so blessed that even when I would sneak out at night, get picked up by some of my guy friends, or go to parties and drink, and fall in love with guys that necessarily weren't the best for me. I never got drugged at those parties and taken away to sex trafficking. I never had the wrong guy pick me up. And I never fell in love with a guy who sold my body. And so I felt blessed to work with these girls. And I realized that, like, I'm meant for so much more than this, because if I can come out of abuse and not be in sex trafficking, my life is worth something. And so what I realized, though, is when I was working there, I was working 12-hour shifts, and I realized that, like, I was loving what I was doing for these girls. But someone came in my life and said, what are you actually doing with your life? I know you love these girls, but you look so dead inside, Alicia. And looking back now, like, I'm so glad someone took the time to tell me that. Because while I wanted to help these girls who'd gone through tremendous pain and sorrow and had similar stories to mine, that they started off with having abuse in the family first and then getting into more trouble, I realized that until I could help myself, I couldn't help these girls. And so I took a year off and I worked on myself. I took a year off working at a car dealership and just, making money and ends meets, but really just focusing on myself for that year. And I know right now all of you guys are like, no, I have kids, I have people to provide for. So I'm not saying you have to take off work for a year, but I do say that you need to focus on yourself right now. There's no better time, and there's really no other time. Like, life is happening right now for you. And so you need to wake up every single morning and go out there with a purpose. So I'm gonna read this quote again. It's so good. And we're gonna talk about how to figure out what your gift is. The purpose of life is to discover your gift. The meaning of life is to give your gift away. So the journal prompt I want you guys to do tonight is to figure out what your gift is. Each and every one of you have something that you're amazing at and that you have a gift for, because not everyone could do it. And so I want to list off a few things. Maybe you're a great listener, you're a businesswoman, you're a great cook, you're a great provider for the family, you're an amazing stay-at-home mom, you love people so well, you love going to nursing homes. There's just a few things that not everyone is passionate about. And so you need to know if you have those passions, you need to go for them, because no one else is going to. The crazy thing about your passion is that no one else is going to be as passionate about your passion. I know when I started, sharing my story, and I would get so excited about it. And I have an amazing supportive boyfriend of 4 years, and he's been amazing throughout my healing process and all that. But it was so funny because I would want to share these stories of women coming to me and just getting so excited and all of a sudden my program, and he would be pumped up for me, but not to the level where I was excited. And that's when I realized that's okay, because that's my purpose. It's no one else's, and no one else can go do my purpose. And so that's why it's so important to realize what you're great at, what you love to do, and go do it. I know sometimes we're in jobs that we feel like we have to be in to make money, to have good health care, all those things, and they're real. But start thinking about things that you love to do and then go do them. Whether you're volunteering on the weekends, whether you're, quitting your job and opening up your own company. There's times where you can make it happen. To do 2 jobs at once. I know I was the queen in college of having 3 jobs to stop ends meet, but one of the jobs was the one I actually loved to do, but it just didn't make money. So next, I want to talk about giving your gift away. So the last 5 days, I've been talking to you guys about writing things that you're grateful for about yourself. Because right now, obviously, this challenge is really focused on loving yourself, loving your body after abuse. Because our bodies have gone through a lot, our heads have gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot, ladies. But I want you to start being grateful and thankful for everything that is in your life right now. And it's hard because I know some of you are single moms and feel alone and like you have no one to turn to. But there's things that you do have that many, many women don't. For one, you have this amazing community of women right now, all working for the same thing, to love themselves more. And that's not to toot my own horn, that I have this challenge group for you guys. That's for you to realize that you have resources that are fighting for you. I am fighting for you right now. And I want you to start fighting for yourself, because there's things in your life that you need to be grateful for. And not only is it amazing starting to think about things that you're grateful for, but it's crazy how the universe, God, whatever you believe in, starts working for you when you're grateful for the things in your life. So when you start becoming really grateful for the little things in life, like thank you for this water I get to drink. Thank you for the $5 that I made today. Thank you that my kids didn't cry today as much as I thought they would. And start being thankful for the little things in your life. More is going to come to you. The universe rewards people who are grateful for what they have, even if it feels like it's not that much right now. Even if it feels like you're alone and you don't have anything right now. You have a roof over your head. You have people in your life who care about you. You have an amazing community now. I hope you know that you're in my community forever. You're stuck with me. But you have an amazing community and so much to be grateful for. So today, to practice being grateful, I have this amazing challenge for you guys. We've been doing journal prompts and all that kind of stuff, but I want you to start actually acting now. It's all about action, and it's about right now. We've got to start being action takers. So we are going to write 5 thank you cards to people in your life that have changed your life. Whether that's someone at the grocery store that you see every day and they have a smile on their face and ask you how you're doing. Whether it's your mom, your dad, a family member, a coach that you've had, a teacher that you've had in the past. I want you to write 5 thank you cards to people. I do this in my own life. Once a week, I sit down and write 5 thank you cards a week. And at first, when I heard about doing this, I was like, oh yeah, like that's a great idea. I have people in my life that I should be thankful for. But after getting in a habit of doing this every single week, I've just realized that I have so many amazing people in my life, and by giving thankful thoughts to them, they're able to go impact other people. So it doesn't just stop with you writing thank you cards to one person. That inspires them to be thankful. And it's so important to have that in the universe where we're all just loving on each other instead of all the hate that has come out. So in honor of having social media and Instagram, whichever one you want to use, after you're done writing the 5 things, the 5 thank you cards to people, I want you to take a picture of either the cards or you selfie with the cards or something, and I want you to post it on Facebook, tag me, and write why you're writing these thankful cards. What does it mean to you that you are telling people how thankful you are for them? So for instance, I want you to say things like, hey guys, I've been working on myself, whatever it is, you want to share that part or not, and just say I want you to know how thankful I am for these few people. And the reason why I'm doing that is because there's so many people in my life that I'm thankful for, and they deserve to know. And I encourage you guys to do the same. So what that's going to do, guys, by posting on Facebook, is going to encourage others to start being thankful too. It's talking about giving your gift away. When you start serving others and start encouraging others, you start getting fulfilled and lifted up and have a purpose to get out of bed every day. I know my purpose is so strong to help women who've gone through abuse, and I can shout it to the rooftop because I know my purpose. And you guys all have an amazing purpose too. And so I'm so excited for you guys to be able to figure that out. And throughout these activities, writing things that you are good at and those gifts for your journal prompt. And then after, writing 5 thank you cards and posting it on Facebook. Not only do I want to see these, this is the reason why I want you to tag me in them, but I've also decided to make this a little fun and a little challenging and to get little prizes out there. So I want to give a prize to the person who participates the most in this challenge group. Not that you guys have to post it on the other pages or anything else, but I want you to feel comfortable to post it in here. But one of the ways that you can get 2 points for my raffle is to post your cards and tell people why you're writing thank you cards and encourage them to do the same. So without telling you, I'm going to tell you anyways because I love telling people about the prizes because it's exciting and I love getting gifts and it's awesome giving gifts too. So they're going to be a Lululemon gift card because obviously everyone could use more Lululemon in their life. And you're going to get a week of coaching with me after this, obviously, one-on-one coaching. That just is one. I want you guys to get pumped. We have 5. Well, no, this is day 3, so we have 2 more days. Tomorrow's talking about fitness, and the next day is talking about nutrition. And so I want you guys to get so pumped up about these challenges and be able to like shout it from the rooftop. Because when you start giving your gift away, is when you yourself start living. I know that the last few days I've been talking about how, it's, like work on yourself and all that kind of stuff. But I also want you to know that it's so important that your life is meant for so much more because it's going to change other people's lives. Your story is so important because it is going to change other people's lives. You get to write a survival guide for people to live by that are going through the same struggles as you. So I want to end on that tonight. And I'm so excited to see all of your posts about all the stuff you're thankful for people. So don't forget to tag me in it so that I don't miss it. And I also want you to do one other thing and do a hashtag on your post and write how to love yourself even more. I'll write all this stuff out because I know that I haven't been writing the journal prompts and everything because I want you guys to watch these lives, but I will go over this challenge and tell you guys a little bit more in a separate video so that you don't miss it. But I'm so thankful for everyone on here. If you guys have any questions, as always, please write them. I'm going to take a look really quick. You can't tell I had to do this awkward light. So let me see. Anybody have any questions? Doesn't look like it. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. You're so amazing. Have an awesome Thursday night. I will see you tomorrow.